Well, I mean, my general impression of the race is it's been great. I mean, it's the organization level, the crowd level, the enthusiasm surrounding it. It's on par with the largest races in Europe. These guys are going to Paris-Nice in a couple weeks, maybe, I guess. And you go to a race like that, and maybe there's 10,000 people at the finish, and they're sort of enthusiastic. They're obviously vastly knowledgeable cycling fans and so on, and of course it's on TV. But the atmosphere isn't that of real excitement. And I think in this race, the fans are like the fans of the Tour de France. They're absolutely ecstatic that the race is going by. They're absolutely ecstatic that that they're getting to see these riders up close. I mean, it really, after watching this race, it shocks me that cycling isn't a much bigger sport in the United States in general. 1.6 million spectators. If I'm not mistaken, that's the largest sporting event in the United States, spectator-wise, correct?
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I think it would be. It's multiple days, and maybe NASCAR gets 200,000 on a day or whatever, but you have 8 days of NASCAR. Well, then you got 1.6 million people. So, I think it's enormously encouraging for everyone involved in U.S. cycling, and enormously encouraging for the sport in general. I mean, if we could just get a few more races like this, or build this race up to a 3-week tour, then why would we even go race in Europe?
Well, we were being aggressive. We had to, because none of us rode good time trials. So after that, we had to be in the front of the race and try and make something happen. Jonathan was doing a bit of screaming in the earphones, so most of the time I had mine out. So I had to know what he was saying. I knew what he wanted, so it didn't matter what he said. And, we're trying to play for the breakaway finishes, because we don't have a great sprint team here, and just trying to take some opportunities to sprint from a group, which unfortunately didn't work out for us, but it was just being aggressive out there.
What does it mean to be voted the Adobe Most Aggressive Rider in a race of this caliber?
I'm honored to receive the award. There were a lot of guys that were aggressive out there, so I guess my moves, I was in a lot of important moves, and yesterday with Stuart O'Grady and Michael Rogers and myself, 3 GC guys in the break, and if we would have finished with 3 minutes, we would have been 3 GC guys in the break. But it puts the pressure on the Discovery guys. Someone's got to do it a little bit. They rode us back, of course, but we're out there and made a race of it. So
I thought this race was much more of a bike race than last year. I thought the racing was fantastic, and I think everyone saw a great individual winner, a very, very strong team that he had, and it was just much more interesting this year. I think that all of the riders here definitely were more fit and more aggressive, and Levi and the Discovery Channel definitely earned this race, but we got in a couple wins as well, so that was good for us to always start the season with a couple wins, takes the pressure off. We're happy again with the team classification. That's one of our priorities. Being the number 1 team in the world, we always want to win that classification in almost every race, if not every race that we do. So sorry the guys couldn't be here. They're hopping a plane in about 45 minutes to go back to Europe tonight. So I'm the lucky representative.
Like Bobby said, I think last year was the inaugural year, and no one really knew what to expect, and I think just the way it was organized, the way it was run, it's just fantastic. And so everyone came more prepared this year, and it was from start to finish. Levi held the lead, but there was a lot of sweat on the road and a little bit of blood, and it ended up being a great race, really exciting to the finish.
I said with the course today, being on cement and being very fast, did that remind you at all of your days on the the track?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all. In the track you race 30K, the long ones, and here it's only 24. It's still short, but no, nothing to do with the track.
Explain the last 1 kilometer and where you were in what position.
Well, I can tell you 4 laps ago, I came to Brown's wheel and I stayed there the last 4 laps, trying not to lose his wheel because I know he wants to win. And he's a pretty good rider going around, between the other guys. So I stayed there in 500 meter. His teammate took off. He was second place. I was behind him, and as soon as he started going for the spin, I started going too, and came to the finish, almost photo finish. So.
Have you ever finished in front of a crowd that large with the way the stadium was, almost with the bleachers?
Well, this crowd was huge. The one in New York was big too. So, but this one, I live here in LA, so for me this one is bigger than New York. Yeah.